Okay, before we start, who is this on the screen, Zach?
That is Jake Tapper from CNN.
Let's go ahead and play.
Desperate Afghans still trying to escape the country, being preyed on by folks demanding that they pay up big time to get out.
What is this?
It's very clear. He says the words. This story that's coming up next after the commercial is about people that are preying on Afghans, making them pay to get out, the Afghans to pay.
It's a big time, right?
He said big time.
Did CNN show this in their opening?
Say again?
Did CNN show this in their opening?
No, they didn't show this to you in the open.
Do you know what the gist is? The statement?
He just said it. You heard the gist out of Tapper's mouth.
Objection.
Are you asking in general what
Yes.
gist means, or the gist of this story?
General. I was just asking what the word gist means.
Apologize.
I'll overrule an objection to that question if you're just asking it in generic.
Do you know what the word gist means, Zach?
It does. I do. I mean, gist means, in summary, it's about this.
And what is Mr. Tapper doing here?
He's introducing what comes up after the commercial.
Did you prey on Afghans?
No, I did not prey on Afghans.
Did you make them pay big time to get out?
I didn't make them pay anything. They never paid anything. I was working for corporations.
Okay. Can we load up PX 350? Who is that on the left side, Zach?
That's Jake Tapper still.
Can we play the teaser?
They say they will help Afghans escape the country, but only for a price, a steep price. How desperate Afghans are being preyed upon. That's next.
Do you only agree to save Afghans if they paid a price?
No.
A steep price?
No.
Did you prey on Afghans?
No.
Did you tell CNN that you charged Afghans?
Told them the opposite.
All right. This flips to a commercial break. Let's jump to the next part. Corey, can you cue up the lead-in to the story?
In our World Lead today, the U.S. government, the Biden administration, says that as of last week, it had assisted in the departure of at least 377 U.S. citizens and 279 lawful permanent residents of the U.S. from Afghanistan since August 31st. Still, many Afghans who desperately want to flee Taliban rule, and Afghans who say their lives are at stake, they remain behind. As CNN's Alex Marquardt has discovered, Afghans trying to get out of the country face a black market full of promises, demands of exorbitant fees, and no guarantee of safety or success.
Okay, sir. What do you think of the lead-in from Jake Tapper?
It's a lead-in, and that means that what comes next is about what he just described.
What's wrong with the lead-in in your view?
A lot is wrong with it. You see it says Afghans trying to flee the Taliban face black markets. I mean, by itself, I don't know, but I know what comes next. It's a story that talks about two Afghans that I've never met or talked to, and then the rest of it's about me. So he's talking about this thing on the bottom. They call it a chyron or a banner. Mr. Axelrod called it. I'll call it a label. To me, it looks like a label. So this label says black markets, which means what it means illegal. exorbitant fees, and no guarantee of safety or success. That part's interesting to me because it's true. Very few things in life have guarantees. And when we're talking about evacuating someone from a war zone, a failed state, the idea that there should be some guarantee of safety or success is, I can't understand it. It's ridiculous. It's not real. It's fiction. So I agree with CNN. There's no guarantees. But to me, the way that I read it is, this is tied to the black markets, these illegal markets. These illegal markets can't guarantee safety or success, as opposed to the legal markets. Those do. They don't say it, but to me, that's what my mind reads. Black markets can't guarantee safety or success. What they could, others do, and they should. That's what I see. And then also, you see the red part, CNN investigation. It makes me feel like there was some deep dive investigation that, I should believe what I'm seeing. It was really planned out, and they did a lot of research. To me, that's what it looks like.
You mentioned this before, Zach, but what does the term black market mean to you?
It means illegal activity or illicit activity.
Did you do anything to confirm your understanding of the term black market?
I had a lot to unpack after this happened, and I started questioning, what am I missing here? Because it means what it means. It's an obvious definition. But I actually looked it up just to confirm that I'm not losing my mind. And I was right. It means what it means. Words do mean what they mean.
Did you look it up on, where did you look it up?
I Googled it, and I looked it up in a couple dictionaries.
Can we queue up PX 308.1? What are we looking at, Zach?
This is from Google, defining black market as a noun. It says, an illegal traffic or trade in officially controlled or scarce commodities. And they give the example, they plan to sell meat on the black market.
Is that consistent with your understanding?
Yes, that's what it means.
Can we queue up PX 308.3? Corey, we're looking at the American Heritage Dictionary.
That's correct.
Thank you, Corey. Can you read the two definitions?
It says, the illegal business of buying or selling currency or goods banned by a government or subject to government control, such as price controls or rationing. And then it also says, a place where such illegal business is carried on.
Corey, could you queue up PX 308.4? Up here on the top, Corey, there we go, Merriam-Webster definition.
That's right. That's Webster's.
Can you read scroll down, Corey, and can let Zach read the definition for us?
It says to buy or sell goods in the black market, using as a verb. We have to scroll down further, I think. And then it says illicit trade in goods or commodities in violation of official regulations, and also a place where such trade is carried on. Illicit trade.
And in violation of official regulations?
Yeah, that's right. And it's interesting because you brought up my contract from DynCorp, and they had the black market clause in there. They also understand what the word means.
Objection.
Basis?
Foundation, they also understand what the word means.
Okay.
I can rephrase that.
Bless you. Please, rephrase it for us.
I understand that based on reading the contract, that it's a universal understanding of what black market means.
Objection. He's not qualified to testify what the universal meaning of a word is.
Just time.
I can rephrase.
Well,
Let me ask you a question, Zach.
Okay.
Re-ask your question.
How did you interpret that clause of the contract?
How did I interpret that clause? I interpret it as this is a very standard clause in the defense space because they're especially concerned about reputations. It's especially important that they actually put it as standard verbiage in a contract as NINCOR did.
In your perception, that label applied to you, would you have violated that contract?
If that label applied to me, I mean, that's what it said in the contract, and I would have been fired.
Objection. Speculation. Foundation.
Hey.
Move to strike.
All right, Jury, disregard Mr. Young's last response to.
In fact, it doesn't really matter because at the time you were doing your own business, you weren't working for Momentum anymore, right?
That's correct.
Let's go back to the second, Corey. Can we play it again?
These are the heavy steps of a young man trying to save his family. He's just 26 years old and lives in California. We can't show his face for the safety of his family in Afghanistan.
I'm desperate, the danger is imminent.
Since the chaotic international withdrawal from Afghanistan, his parents, siblings, and wife have been in hiding from the Taliban, who in the past, the young man says, have violently beaten his father, a doctor, and been angry with his mother, a women's rights activist who worked for the U.S.
Taliban left announcement to my parents that anybody who helped them find my parents or my family that ends up with their execution will gain a prize.
They put a bounty on your family's head.
Exactly. This is really serious. They went to our house. They destroyed every single thing.
Desperate, he turned to Facebook, finding people offering ways to get Afghans out of the country for a price.
That person came up to me and told me, hey, you know what, you got to pay $10,000 per person in order to be evacuated them.
Per person?
9, 10 people, it would be like $100,000, and I cannot provide $100,000 in cash. In a way, like even if I provide that money, there is no guarantee that they will be evacuated.
Zach, were you the person he messaged on Facebook?
No. I don't know who. I've never met him. No, I still don't know who he is.
Have you ever interacted with him?
No.
Who's playing in, Corey?